welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to make a no-sew journal that was inspired by Alyssa at Very Little Paper Crafter. I will link her video below. I saw it a couple days ago and jotted a note, something I wanted to do, and I rewatched it today. I tried to find it today so I could put the name down, and I didn't realize she picked the same paper pad to do the first one that she showed in the video, and then she had a different paper pad for the one she actually created. But I thought it was kind of funny. It was the same paper pad. I didn't do it. I had picked the papers before I went back to see who it was. So this is an old Park Lane, which is the old Joann's. They are 12 by 12 papers. So I picked out a bunch. I'm going to show you which ones I picked out here. But they were 12 by 12 papers. So there's some fun ones in this. Some gold foils, some interesting springy kind of stuff, which I thought with, this cold snap that everybody's going through, and things are freezing and snow and yucca, spring would be fun. So let me show you the papers that I decided to use. I also picked a couple papers from the Happy Garden paper pad that I found at Ollie's for $1.99. They had a lot of the same similar colors. All right, so the papers start out as 12 by 12, but I've gone and cut them down to take 4 inches off. So these are 8 by 12. So we'll be able to use these in other projects and possibly pockets in there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is with our 8 by 12s is we need to score them. Now I've scored a couple already, but I'm going to go through and show you which ones I've picked. I might not use them all, but I'm going to score and fold them all. I have this lovely butterfly with a little bit of gold. I got some green flowers, and I tried to pick colors that went in there. This has some pretty flowers in there. Sort of a gingham on a diagonal. And then some pretty kind of, I don't know what you would call that, salmon colored? Not really peach, but yeah, we got that. And then another flower, very similar to this green one, but in that pinky tone. And polka dots. This went great with these oranges. This actually came from the Happy Planner, Happy Thing. And then birds. So let me show you what I've done. So you're going to take the 8 by 12s and we're going to score them. We're going to score them at 5 inches and then again at 10, or if you come in from the other side, at 2 and 7. And that's why I'm going to do it, because I have my tiny little scoreboard as usual. So we're going to score them at 2 and 7. These are then going to get folded in, and we're going to glue this together. And this is going to be a flap that gets attached to the next one. So, fairly simple. I had done this one already too. So it's going to get glued and folded. So let's take a look at these. So pretty simple. One fold, one glue, and then I'll show you how to glue them together. And the first paper, the Sweet Melody one, was thicker paper, thicker cardstock. And the one from the Ollie's one was thinner cardstock. So I'm hoping that there's not too much of a problem, but since these are going to be, these pages are going to be glued together, I don't think it should be. I think they're going to give it enough strength. But that's all you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and score the rest. I will be right back. All right, so we've got the last one. Just want to make sure we had that all the instructions straight again. So we're going to score at 2 inches and 7. And again, if you've got a full-blown board that's big enough, and you're going to score from this side, you're going to score in at 5, and then again at 10. So, depending on how you want to do it. And we're going to go ahead and fold that in. And fold that back. Now, I did not notice how many pages that she had used for it, but my sense is you can use as many papers as you want because it's kind of an endless kind of journal. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. I have 8. Seems like a pretty reasonable number. Pretty nice size journal. Yeah, 8 pages, so that would be 16 sides. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so the one thing that I did notice when you're going to do this is, so this is going to be the front page. This is going to be glued to the next page. So you want to do that. But one thing you got to make certain is whatever your first page is, and you want as your cover, whatever your last page is going to wrap around and cover it. So if you want, you know, this in front, make sure you don't maybe put this one as the last page, because when you go to wrap this around, it's going to be really kind of busy looking. So whichever one you want to have in the front, make sure the last one will look pretty wrapped around. And I think this one will be really nice. The butterflies, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to make the butterflies first. And I'll go green. And let's see, there's 2 pinks. We'll do a pink. And then we'll do a flower and a yellow, a bird, and a pink, and a polka dot. Let's see what that looks like. Actually, I don't like that because they're the same flower. So let's bring that one in. So we go butterfly, green, the salmon color, flower, trellisy grid, birds, pink, polka dot. Okay, I like it. All right, so we're going to go with that. Now, for gluing, could barely be any simpler. So we are going to glue this flap onto the top of this next one. But first off, we want to close this flap. Now, you can do it, I think, several ways. You can close it completely so that it is just a flap. You could put glue on the top and the side to make a top tuck. This one I'm going to glue completely down since it's the title page, or the, what do you want to call it, the front cover. But I was also thinking you could possibly even maybe fold some pages down to make angle pockets. All right, so this next one, we're going to glue this as a top pocket. Yeah, we'll glue this one as a top pocket. So we are going to, I'm going to put some glue down here, and I think I'll use this for this. Give it as much room as possible. I'm not too worried about the bottom of how tall it is. Probably actually want it even a little shorter in general. All right, so this is going to get glued onto here. Now, I'm going to glue it so that it's a side tuck, so we're just going to only put glue there and there, and probably should do it here so the stuff doesn't go all the way through. All right. Okay, we're going to make sure that it is straight. It's a little bit crooked. It's a little bit crooked. Back to the glue. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so again, this is going to be a side pocket. So if you've got something, you put in the side like that. All right, so the next one is going to be this one. Now, this one is a little lighter paper, so what I was thinking of doing is maybe folding it down. Now, there is going to be some white in there. No, you know what? I'm not a fan. I was thinking that would work in my head, but I'm thinking no. It would work better if the pocket went this way, but that would be a little bit more difficult because it's folded there. But I wonder if this doesn't work, I can always probably take it out of the book. And not use it, but let's give it a shot. All right, so this is going to go this way. That could work. All right, so what I think I'm going to do though is I think I'm going to add one of these papers to here. Of course, it's probably not tall enough. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to get a mark. Nothing like doing this on a whim without planning ahead. Sounds about right. All right, so we're going to glue. Let me get my strips gone. And we're going to glue. Put the pin back in before we forget. So this is, I would think, how most everyone crafts. And, you know, there's a lot of people that do these videos. They've got them all slicked out, and they got everything all set up and ready to go and edit down. And but I know in life that's not how we all craft. Everything does not work all smoothly and perfectly. And I'm going to put some washi tape in there just to cover that up. I think I might need a new glue stick. Okay, so this one needs to be glued just down there in the bottom. All right, whoops. Just down here. This kind of reminds me of when you're doing, if you've ever done one of those altered books, like the Reader's Digest kind of deal, where you fold pages and make pockets and do that other kind of stuff. Kind of reminds me of that. so that is going to go here, and again, that is going to be a side pocket. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is if you wanted to make sure you had like a thumb hole in there to make a, you know, idea that there's a pocket there. Don't forget to do that before you glue it. It makes it a lot easier. All right, and I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to butt these two together, top and the bottom, and I'm going to put the glue here, and I'm going to fold it over. Yeah, that worked a little bit better. That definitely worked a little bit better. I'm not worried about too much how this looks, because like I said, that last sheet of paper is going to end up getting wrapped around and covering all that unloveliness. So we have that pocket, we have that pocket, and we now have that pocket. Yeah, I like it. All right, so I think this one is going to be glued in full. And again, it really depends on what you think you might want to put in there. You know, do you have a lot of stuff that you want to tuck in? Do you just want to decorate the outside? Make some writing space. If you want to make some writing space, you might want to make it more simple patterns. Lots of options. But this is, and the reason that I kind of got drawn to this was because I believe she said in the beginning, or it was part of the title, I forgot, it says, you know, what to do with all those white-sided, single-sided scrapbook papers that we all have, which is true, because a lot of times, you know, what can you do with the single-sided? You have to try to figure out how to make it, you know, not so white, or double back it, or something like that. So yeah, cute. Okay, let's do this one. All right, this one I'm going to go back to the hole punch. I'm just not going to do all the hole punch in all of them, just thumb notch like every other one here. Now, other thing you thought you could do, and I might do it on the next one, is, you know, if you want rounded those corners to make it look a little bit fancier, or glue this together, or the fancy punches, the border punches. That could be fun. I might try that on this next one. And no. All right, so for this one, I'm going to make a top loading pocket, but I'm going to stop it like halfway down. You just kind of stick some small stuff in there. All right, I've noticed that this has kind of started to creep that way. So I'm going to put this on here. Kind of creep it back a little bit. Make sure everything is lined up straightish. And there we go. Okay, we got a couple more here. All right, I have decided to go ahead and make this as a border punch, because it is a simpler paper. Now let's see what we can do. We get that side, we did get that side, okay. Yeah, this should be the last punch. Beautiful. I got this punch at Michael's. It's nice because it's got a little case to catch stuff. And not all of them do. Okay, so this one, yeah, that's pretty. All right, let's see if we can put a little ink on there. All right, so for this one, I think I'm not going to make it a side tuck. I think I'm just going to glue it down just to make a pretty accent. Now, I know you can definitely make these side tucks, but I think I'd be a little more afraid of the wear and tear on it. And we don't want to make it unpretty. Make sure all the glue has come off so it doesn't stick like I decided I wanted to a little bit. Get that off of there. My little glue eraser. Okay, I got what, 2 more left, and then we'll show you how we do the last one. All right, so this last one, should I make another pocket? All right, so what I'm thinking is instead of a pocket on an angle, I'm going to fold it straight down. And like the other one, I will pick a paper to put in here so that there is still a place to top chalk. Yeah. All right, so which one are we gonna do? That could work. All right, so let's put this one in here. Once again, make a line. All right, let's glue this in. I think I still might need to glue that flap down too. I'm not worried about that side because again, that's going to get covered, so it's fine that it's a little bit short. I'm just going to cut that out so when it folds, there's no bulk in the center. so if I wanted to, I could put a thumb hole in there, but I think I'm not going to. The question is, make it, or just do it, I think I'm just going to do it down at the bottom and glue the back in. So it leaves a little bit of room to stick something in the top pocket. Again, all on a whim. Just crafting as we go. Hopefully you're doing the same. Just kind of playing around and crafting as we go. Okay, so that got hooked with that. And all right, so if we had something that goes in there, could fit in there. If we got something that goes in there, and now it can be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like it. And I can always go back and glue it if I need to. All right, so last one. This one I'm going to glue all together. I don't want to have to worry about pockets or anything since technically it is the back cover. So it's going to be a solid piece. All right, and this one didn't have a thumb notch, so this one is going to be thumb notched. Yeah, no rhyme or reason, just what I felt like doing. Oh, I was going to round those too, weren't I? Just going to take a... Yeah, I like it, especially with the dots there. Okay, so let's glue this one down, and then we'll do the last step of wrapping this last one to the front to make the book. All right, doing our best to keep it straight. And yeah, I like the rounded edges. It gives us a little bit different. Yeah, it's cute. Okay, so last page. Last one you do. Again, I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually the covers wouldn't be 8. So I've got actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 full pages, front and back cover. All right, so this is going to get wrapped around to here. Now, if you want to, you can go and try to score it, but I think it's just easy enough to give it over there, give it a little bit of, don't wrap it too tight, give it a little bit of room, kind of flatten it down a little bit. Now, if you want to make it a little shorter, if you want to show more of your thing, you can, but I think it's okay. And we're going to glue this all down. It's not going to be a pocket. I'm not going to glue the spine. I am going to glue away from that. Really just want the edge and what's on the front to be glued. I'll put a little bit there. And glue it down. Cute. All right, so this page is like down a little bit from the other one, it's up a little, so it's not perfect by any means. So I probably could figure out a way to fix that, maybe throw a little washi tape around there, or just, you know, live with the imperfection. Pocket. This one has a top loading pocket as well. Side tuck, or side pocket, a side tuck. This one has side tuck. Again, side tuck. This one is not. This is just decorative, and it looks like I forgot to glue this page together. Okay. All right, we're going to do our best to glue it together with what I have available. That was a fun find. All right, so just fun decorative. There's that. This got a pocket and a top loading pocket and a side loading pocket and the back cover. Fun polka dots. I love it. I love it. Trials and tribulations, but in the end, I think it was definitely fun to be able to make that with just plain scrapbooking paper. So with the extra pieces, if you wanted to, like make some extra pockets, you could do that. This one's pretty thin. So I think what I would do is probably glue the two together. Yeah, I think I would just want to put it on the one page. Yeah, let's do that. All right, I'm going to glue it together. And I'm going to cut it off. After I get it lined up on there to make sure it is the right size. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a thumb hole on this, and we're going to ink it, because when they got folded together, they definitely left okay. So we are going to mark that. You can barely see it. Look, instead of making a pen mark, it more made a, almost like a, I don't know what I call it, a score mark. Oops, that's the wrong page completely. That thumb hole got way off. Bad estimation on my part. When all else fails, get the big mom out. Oh, that's much better. That looks centered. Okay. See which side is the fold side and which side is the cut side. Can't really tell, but I do need to put some glue in there. Close that down. I just feel like I should cut just a little hair off again. That's better. I just didn't want it to get caught in the fold. Okay. All right, glue it down like a pocket. Okay, so now we got a pocket and a pocket. Yeah, the other thing you probably could do is like make a flippy flappy thing. And so there really seems to be something going on every page except for this one. But it is the back cover. That's got the fun, that's got the pretty, that's got an extra pocket. That's plain, that's got the fold over, that one's plain. I don't want to cover the butterflies up. All right, so I'm thinking I want to make a pocket that flaps open. So we're going to just do where we would glue the flap down. That is about roughly 1.5 inches. And I would glue the flap down. And I could make it wrap around, but I'm not going to, because there's something going on there. If there was nothing going on here, I think I would probably wrap it around, because I think it would be fun to have this extra piece in there. But since there's something there, I'm not going to. All right, so if we put that flap down, what we want to do is have a pocket that goes, we're going to fold it the other direction, obviously, but we want a pocket that doesn't go to the border. So we're just going to fold it there. And we are going to turn that off. Yeah, okay, so for the pocket, we're going to do the side and the bottom. I don't think I'm going to do a thumb hole because this is kind of going to be like a reversible pocket. It's going to flip out. You'll be able to stick something on that side, almost like hidden journaling too, and do that. And eventually, if I want to cover that up, I could. But I wonder if I should add some like washi tape now that I can kind of wrap around. Let's find some washi tape. All right, so I found these washi tapes that I think would go nice with this. So I am going to go over the part that folds, and I'm going to go back in. Trim this down because I don't want this part to be okay, but for the rest I'm going to wrap them around. Question, this is going to be enough? It's going to be a little short. I picked these actually had a bit of gold into them too, so I kind of thought that was fun. Since these papers actually have gold, and I don't use gold too often, that's for sure. And trying to eyeball it straight on the washi tape beforehand. They are getting overlapped a little bit, just so I can stick them all on there. And this washi tape ended up ripping off on the paper. Probably not the best place to try to put washi tape down, but I was trying not to get glue on everything. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. All right, let's glue that down, and we're going to glue the dickens out of the back of this so it stays down. Oh, I really wanted to. I could probably have made it kind of a tuck space, but I didn't want to have the washi tape getting stuck in the back of something as a tuck space, so. Yeah, cute. I like it. That was unexpected bonus. All right. I think I'm going to call this done. Now, it still obviously can be decorated some more, adding tags, etc. But as a base for a journal, I think this is good. So, one last flip through. Front cover, side pocket tuck, fun new flap open pocket with, if I punch the journaling space, put something in there. Side pocket, fun pocket there. Side pocket there. Just decorative, fun place to write something. Side pocket, top pocket, side pocket. Again, add something there. I probably will end up putting something there just because it's a little bit more neutral. Some sort of pocket there probably, just to add some fun. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. And then the back cover. I love it. Very much fun. All right, so thanks again to Alyssa at Very Little Paper Crafter. Again, put the link below to see her original video. It definitely inspired me to do something, and hopefully you'll get inspired to make your own no-sew journal using a single-sided paper that we all have too many of. Okay, well, that's going to be it for me today. Appreciate, as usual, each and every one of you that has stopped by, and I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.